thing that's out there that millionaires have multiple streams of income. That's a fact that's not true. Most millionaires got wealthy by building one dream first. And then when they got there, they diversified. Let's say you want to be a baseball player, just for example. You're going to be a baseball player and a piano player, but I'm playing baseball all day long, 100% of the time, obsessed with it, getting better, growing, and you're also doing this other thing, I'm going to kick your tail every single time. So in business, if you're doing 5 businesses and I'm getting great at one, you're going to have a hard time competing against me in that one because I'm obsessed, I'm all in, I'm after it, I'm crushing that one thing, and you're really spreading yourself very thin over here.
Focus. It is the word of the year. Focus on the properties that cash buyers actually want to buy and the hottest lists that you can go after. We're going to show you how to do both of these. We're going to hop right into batch leads. We're going to go through this, and then we're going to talk to Jesse. We're going to talk to Amy. We're going to break down all the exciting things that Batch just came out with. But before we do, I want to show you tactically what to do and how to use this tool. So let's jump right in here, Matt. Let's look at this. This is mine right here. The proof is in the pudding, right? 989,000 skip trace properties. The first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to your workplace. All right. This is brand new, guys. This is absolutely incredible. This thing right here called Lead Score. This is going to change the game right here. This is going to give you such a distinct advantage over your competition because you're going to be going after the absolute prime properties that are going to sell at a discount. These people are going to trade price for speed and convenience. All right. Now look at this. I want you to take a screenshot of this if you are on your phone. I want you to take a picture of this if you're watching this on a computer or a TV or whatever. Look at these scores right here. This is exactly what my team's doing. All right. We're putting a weight on the year built being less than 1995. We want older properties. We want these properties to be seasoned. We want these properties to be dated. We want a little bit of mold on them. We want a little bit of rust on them. We want a little bit of moss growing on these things, right? So we're going to put a 50 here. All right. The next one is we're going to put a weight of single family, duplex, triplex, quadplex, and mobile manufactured home. And we're putting a weight of 30 right here. And guys, I'm going to show you how this all adds up and why this is the best list to go after. All right. Next is we want a list count of no more than 5 and put it right here for a 30 score. All right. We want a foreclosure here. And the list count means that these properties are on 5 different lists. The different lists can be divorce, it could be pre-foreclosure, it could be tax default, it can be what other distress lists are there that's really hot right now? Absentee owner lists. These could be vacant lists. All of those 5 times. That adds 30 points to this list count. Another one that is really strong is it a pre-foreclosure? We had 60 right here for this one, pre-foreclosure for 60, and then we've got year built again for some reason at 30. So this is what I want you guys to put in here. I'm going to see why.
Subtract 30.
Subtract 30. So this is if they're built, but after 2005, we actually subtract 30 points from the total score. What does the total score mean, Brent? What does that even, what does that mean? First of all, what you want to do is you want to go into your batch leads and you want to scroll all the way over to this new button here. I've got it here at 16, but it used to be all the way over here. So if you're setting this up yourself, it'll be in one of these last 2 rows. All right. So I'm going to cancel this. But as you see, you can go over here and you can start finding the lead scores and you want Here's the worst ones to go after, the negative 30s, and here are the best ones to go after. These are scores of 170, all these, and it keeps going on. We've got so many properties above 100 here. If they're above 100, this is hitting all the boxes. This is showing us this is the strongest list to go after. There are so many reasons for distress in this list that you could focus first on these properties. right? And this is you. You get to customize your own list in the lead scoring. It's absolutely bananas. It literally came out, yesterday?
Yeah.
Literally came out yesterday.
Sure did.
Right? And you've probably seen a lot of people on social media, whether it be Pace or Jamil or Ryan Zolan or whoever else talking about the new batch leads because it's just been absolutely bananas. So that's the first thing I want to show. And just give me a second, guys. I know you want to unleash, but I want to show one. I just want to do one more thing here, Matt. I want to get in here. Let's just go right here to this property. Okay, this is going to be in California. And I want to show you guys something. With this tool, it is super, super easy to be able to pull your cash buyers in this area. Say you got this property under contract, or say you want to work in 84577 zip code, right? You simply put a boundary in, right? And you pull this thing, you just pull this out, right? So now you've got this whole area right there, right in the mix of things, right where you want to find, you know that there are buyers for this property. I want you to go to the filter. And I know I'm going fast, guys, because I know we have a lot of questions today, and I want to get to all of them. I want to get to the celebrations. I want to get to everything that we do on this show, but I want to give you some instruction before we get there because this is absolutely critical. So right here under cash buyers, cash purchase, boom. Purchase date. Look how easy this is, guys. Look how easy this is. I want to go the last 3 months. Last 3 months, cash purchases, and then I want to exclude properties where the mailing address and property address are the same. All right? We're going to click that so that you're going after people that actually are buying investment properties in this area, or at least second homes or whatever. They don't live in these properties. I'm going to apply it, and I don't know where it went. It just had it. What just happened? Cash purchase, yes.
Yeah.
We've got it there. Exclude that. By the way, now they have number of properties owned. And then apply it. And look at this. I've got 326 cash buyers in this area. What do? You go to these properties and you get them, you skip trace them right here. You could skip trace it super, super easy and then just call them up and see if they're ready to buy more properties. It's that easy. You simply skip trace it. Let's just do, I'm going to put it in my list here, the live list, live calls. I do this every single day in my support calls with the coaching program. And then we skip this. We get the phone number and we simply call them up and see if they are ready to buy this property. Look at this. Their phone number's right there. Not only that, can I click to call now?
You sure can.
I can literally
You
click
can
this
click
button
to dial.
and it'll dial it, right? Can we try it?
Yeah, do it.
Oh, hold on.
Nope.
Allow. I got to allow that. It's going to pull up. Guys, nobody has click to dial right in there. If you're using VAs, do you know how easy this is to voice over IP? You know what I mean? To just call over their actual computer over the internet so they don't have to have a cell phone and they could call through Batch Lead right now and call them up and just see if they would consider buying another cash property in the area. Done.
Exactly.
So
It's that, guys, that's it. Isn't that incredible? I mean, I think that is just, I mean, nobody is using this. Nobody has that call feature
Click to dial,
right
yeah.
in click to dial right there, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So what else has come out?
What else is coming out? Well, we've got our virtual driving for dollars.
That's right.
We'd love to show you guys that.
Yep. Got your virtual driving for dollars. That's phenomenal. Talk about it.
So virtual driving for dollars, you basically can choose any area you want to. It's exactly like driving for dollars if you were just to drive around in your car, but you can do it virtually. We use the power of Google Street Maps to really show you the most accurate view of the house.
Mm-hmm.
So Brent's doing it right now. He's driving down the street.
Look
He's
at this.
finding a property.
Yep.
There
I got
it is.
one here.
He's got one right here.
And I can just view details.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. You might already have that one on your list.
I probably
Maybe
already do.
that's why it doesn't
But
say
I can
save.
add to the list and boom, it's now in my driving for dollars.
Exactly. And you can track your routes too. You can filter your routes if you've got multiple drivers. You can keep an eye on everything that they're doing, or show them where they need to be going, track mileage and all that good stuff.
Exactly.
And it tracks everything. I could start virtual driving, and then I just push this button, this little car right here, and it tracks where I'm going.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
All in this thing.
And then you'll be able to view it directly on the map. Yep. It's a really amazing tool, and it's brand new to Batch Leads, so we're super excited to bring it to you guys.
I love it. I love it. Jesse, why'd you build this?
I mean, we already had it built in batch driven, and what we wanted to do is we had a lot of customers having to use both platforms, and it was becoming cumbersome. You'd have 2 different subscriptions, and people are like, well, what do I need? And you may need
Switch us over, Matt.
you may need a little bit of both,
Yeah.
or you may want one or the other, and let's put it all into one place. And that's what we've really been building Batch Leads for, is to really make, and that's why we've added the click to dial and the lead scoring. We really want this to be, especially for a new investor, now you have no excuse to not start generating leads.
I love it.
We
We call it the 5-second rule. You skip Tracy, you get the phone number 5, so you have 5 seconds to call that ugly house. You could literally, every single house that you virtually drive for dollars, you can hit it and call it right from your computer right then.
So now you don't need to be looking for your phone, looking for the number, making sure it's dialed in correctly.
We have a lot of
It's
people
click.
doing this from work on their
Yep.
off times. We have a lot of people driving trucks. We have a lot of people in the military. We have a lot of people that right away they don't have to take those extra steps, because the fact is, the more steps there are, the more distraction there is.
Exactly.
Because it's the in-between times, guys. It's the in-between times that you really have to be careful for, that that catch you up, that really stop you from building the momentum.
So basically, now you could, we've always had the list for quite a while now, so you could pull your own list. Now you could drive for lists.
Yep.
But now we have even more enablement tools to where, you could call out of the system.
Yeah.
You have the lead scoring. You have all these things. Think of Batch Leads now as a lead generation CRM. You're
Yep.
able to track all your stuff. When you're calling people, you could disposition that call, or soon you could do that to where you're really able to keep track of the people that you're prospecting to. Now, once they're a prospect, put them into your CRM. But if you're new, you could use Batch Lead as your CRM and really start generating your leads and keeping track of who you're talking to via text message or via calling or whatever you're trying to do. Is we really want to just simplify the whole process for you to talk to more people.
Yeah.
Talk to more people, get
That's
more
it.
deals. At the end of the
That's
day,
it. Andre, can we change the back screen here, please?
and also being able to track all those things
Yeah.
in one place. And I think it's going to be an amazing tool to help, more real estate investors get more deals. At the end of the day, we started building the product for ourselves.
Explain that, because
wholesaler.
I think that's really important.
Yeah, a lot of people may not know is I started off as a wholesaler.
You're not just a Harvard grad that built an app,
I'm not
like
Trust fund.
like Facebook or something, like
no, not quite that
right.
brilliant.
You actually did this.
For 7 years.
How many deals?
500, 600 deals.
Right.
So a lot.
Yeah.
He knows his stuff.
Built a whole team. Actually built this app, built this system for you and your team.
Yeah.
And then I made you share it with everybody.
Basically is that's really what started happening was we were trying to solve problems for ourselves, and that's where we're different from a lot of other companies that may be in our spaces. We actually have went through what you've went for. I know what it's like to get started.
Yep.
I know what it's like to hope to get your first deal. I know what it's like to get your first life-changing deal.
Yep.
And there were so many different tools, and they're lacking so many tools, so we've always kept those real estate investors first of mind, top of mind, to make sure that we're building something for them to have success.
I love it. Getting started, guys, this is the tool. I'm telling you, this is the tool. And after this, 3.0, you sucked up all the other tools. You know what I mean? We really did.
We still have a lot more coming too. So
Yeah, we do.
I'm excited
Keep
with
an
some
eye
fast
out.
follow-ups.
Amy, talk to me. So you're talking new. You're talking teams.
Teams.
There's a
Would
team
love
aspect
to
to
tell
it.
you guys about Teams.
Yep.
Teams is such a great tool because if you're getting bigger, if you're scaling, if you've got multiple people, if you've got multiple workspaces. So if you want to use, let's say you've got so many people and so many properties that you want to put in your Batch Leads account, you essentially want multiple Batch Leads accounts. We've simplified that for you. So you can have multiple workspaces that operate like separate Batch Leads accounts. You have an account owner, they get their own leads, they only see their own stuff. You can have additional users on those if you want to. So if you've got a VA or somebody who's driving for dollars on that account, you can have that too. But it's great for people who are scaling up and getting bigger.
If people need help setting this up, what do they do? Do they have help? Is it a human?
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh.
Oh, so if you sign up for a team account, you have customer success manager that's going to literally dedicated one-on-one onboarding.
What about somebody just getting going? You guys have help to get everything organized?
You have a group onboarding.
Yep.
And every single person gets that. If you're still struggling, you could book yourself a one-on-one.
Love it.
We also have chat support, and we have phone support from 8 to 8, and we just extended that every single day. And I believe Saturday and Sunday now it's 8 to 5. So every single day
you know
can
what I
reach out
love
to
best
somebody.
about what you guys did? I mean, I love the lead scoring and all that, but the app, because I comp a lot of properties for people around the country, it now has face recognition. I love that. I mean, I just love that. I mean, that just makes it so much easier.
And yeah, now we have a brand new app too. So for you guys already using Batch Leads, go check out the app. It's completely revamped. It has the driving
It's
for
enhanced.
dollars, virtually driving.
You're able to look at property search too. So before you weren't able to maybe look at all the different filters and stuff like that. Everything you can see in Batch Leads, you can see in the mobile app.
Well, the number one thing is you have to have accurate data, not just the list, but accurate phone numbers. You guys have been the industry leader for forever, because you get it from all over the place and make sure that it's all filtered through and it's really, really, really solid data. As with other people, they just kind of white label their data and pass it off as skip tracing. It doesn't work. And everybody on here knows. Everybody on here that's tried it with the different resources to skip trace on these other guys that didn't specialize in skip tracing first. That's your bread and butter. That's how you started. That's how you grew. That's how the whole thing went. You guys are the Cadillac. I mean, you guys are the Rolls Royce of the data, and that's the most important thing, because nothing's more frustrating than having good lists. You know they're ugly properties. You know you've got them, and then you skip trace them, and you can't get a hold of anybody, and it's just a nightmare.
Well, the next iteration of that is, we have something completely proprietary. We clean it. We have ways of how we aggregate it, and that's what's really made us different. And actually in Q4, we're actually early next year going to be rolling out our next version of skip tracing to really pierce through the LLCs that much further and give you some more options. And even now what our next goal is to do is we have very accurate numbers, which is, the right party contact. Yep. But what we want to start figuring out is what numbers are the bad numbers and how do we remove those from our system. So you as the customer, the user,
there's a lot of dead numbers,
are talking to and calling less numbers and still having the same accuracy. So those are some of the things that we're working on, and we've just continued to really try and innovate. And at the end of the day, it's all for the people that are on this call. It's like, that's all we care about, and that's all I obsess over is how do we help them get more deals.
We want to make your lives easier. Yeah. How do we make you more efficient? How do we make your lives easier?
You got to click the button and actually call. That's on you, 100%. But I know that they will if it makes it a lot easier. And I'm telling you, that's a conversation we've had for years, is remove the distraction, remove the steps in the process. If you can remove the steps, people will take more action, because it gives you an excuse. Something glitched here. I got to take this and I got to put it here, and I got to pull this and I got to put it over here, and then I got to do all these other steps. And then all of a sudden you get lost in the minutia of being busy but not productive.
Right.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep.
Awesome. Anything else?
I mean, you just really, we've put this tool together for you to enable marketing through text messaging, through calling. You could use direct mail. There's all these things. We have all these lists. We have all these comparables. You guys have to just go do the work. And as Brent says, go talk to people and really just start generating leads. A lot of the new people, we have people cancel all the time and at the end of the day, my first question to our retention team is, how many people are they outreaching to every day?
Right.
I'm like, if there's something wrong with our software, I want to know. But most of the time, they're just not putting the work in. If you put the work in, you're going to change your life. I was working restaurants, working at a golf course, and got into real estate. Like, I have completely been there, but the work that I put in and the effort and the resilience that we had to just figure out a way to get a deal, you have to get there.
Love it.
You have to.
Yeah, I mean, we use it every single day. You can see it right there. We got 989,000 total skip trace. So awesome, guys. We're going to get to question and answers and celebration. So thanks for being on here.
Appreciate it.
Great to see you.
Brent.
Thanks,
Thank
Amy.
you.
Thanks, Jesse. All right, app is out now. Yes, Kevin. I'm going to move on over here. Guys, you know the drill for this show. This show is going to be absolutely action-packed. Thank you, guys. That's incredible. It's going to be absolutely action-packed. We're going to be answering questions. We are going to... I dropped the cord out of this thing. We're going to be answering questions. We're going to be celebrating... right? We're going to be absolutely celebrating. And the third part of this show is squad up in the comments section. Take this as your networking for the day. The show would not be complete. The show would be 73% without my man, who's back. He's healthy. He's strong. He's ready to go. Rafael Cortez, how are you?
What's up? What's up? I'm telling you, man, that seafood did a number on me last week. I missed you guys.
What did you think about the new upgrades?
Dude, I love it. I'm excited. I mean, you started with the word focus, right? I think the lead scoring feature is going to be huge, huge. People don't understand. A lot of times it's underestimated, right? The power that we have within our own databases. Lead scoring and stacking your own stuff and then capitalizing on those lists like that is going to be insane, especially if you're like a solo operation. Talk about focus and really dialing in the efforts.
Yep.
That's definitely where you want to go.
Well, I used it when I started out, Raf, and I'm sure you as well. When I started out, I would have my list in an Excel, right? And then I would just try to do like a sorting and try to find out, stack the list of distress. I really would, because I wanted to see who were the like worst of the worst. Because in the beginning, I was kind of scared to just call. Like I was okay calling as like a real estate agent for like listings, but to just call like just a random property owner and have a conversation with them, I was like apprehensive at first. And then, you build up through reps, you build up your skills, you build up your confidence, you build up your certainty. And when you're really broke, you need to do these things to not be broke, right? You need to go through those changes. That's the gut punch that you feel. And I remember, I'll just go and I'll get the 5 or 10 or 15 or 20 best leads that are on all these multiple lists, and I'll just call them first. And it worked. Yeah. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. So guys, this has worked forever. This has been taught forever, how to just get multiple layers of distress. And now you've got a lead score that you put in your lists and it can do it for you. So it's absolutely phenomenal. So
and you can do it so fast, man. It's like that's the time factor, I think, goes.
That click to dial, bro.
I'm telling you.
People don't understand how powerful that is. But when you hook in your Bluetooth, and I literally would have called that lead right now if I was hooked in and we didn't have all these computer stuff. I do it on the support calls. But if I had my Bluetooth in, I would just click the dial all day long on the Driving for Dollars.
I was on day long. I was on a call this morning with my wife, and she was driving by a house. She says, "There's a boarded up property on 91st and Pierce." Yeah. Right. And I was in it. I was just kind of looking at the features. I went in, I saw it from the top, and then I skip traced it right there. Clicked the button, hit the number, and I tried the feature. I hadn't tried it before. I tried it, and you had a conversation right there and then with the seller. Like Dude,
that's it.
Quick.
Yeah. What does that shirt say?
Keep your friends close and your whiskey closer.
My man. I'll tell you what. There you go. So that's it. Let's crack this thing open, guys. I want to ring this victory bell at least 1,000 times today and celebrate your success. So Batch Driven is part of it. It's all part of it. It's all included. They own both companies. So they rolled in Batch Driven into their app and into their into the virtual Driving for Dollars. So you've got all that. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yes, it does, Derek. Yeah, it'll track your route. I didn't do it. They wanted me to do it, but I didn't want to screw up my team because I'm literally on my team account. But yeah, you just push. There's a button in there that you push, and I can show you here. Matt's messing with all the cameras after they left, so I can show you this. You push this. You pull. Matt is running around like crazy. You're the man, Matt.
Get it.
If I were to go in here and drop it there, you're going to see this little button right here, and that's your virtual Driving for Dollars, and that'll start it, and then as you move, it follows you, and it shows you exactly where it is. So it's that little button right there. Great question, Derek. The virtual Driving for Dollars is going to be on your desktop. Yeah. I mean, that's if you have your app, you have your app. So you can drive around with it. I mean, virtual Driving for Dollars is probably a little bit smoother of a. Let me see if I can show you the app. It's got right here. I don't know. So right here it has Driving for Dollars. Sorry, that you can't see that. Whatever. It has Driving for Dollars in the app. There you go. But that you don't need a virtual map because you're driving for dollars. You're out there. You're out in the streets. You're checking out your inventory. So there you go. By the way, guys, we're gonna go to this show's gonna be 90 minutes instead of 2 hours. 90 minutes. We're gonna pack it in. We want to keep it as crisp and as tight as possible. And we find that after 90 minutes, that's about the watch time anyway. So it works out for everybody. Randy, Batch Dialer, how has the connectivity for your team been? Did you guys switch to another platform? We did. We switched to Mojo, to be honest. I'm glad that Jesse left. No, I'm just kidding. He knows. They built that thing so robust that I don't think that it was... it's more powerful than it needs to be, and it has way too many things that you can configure, and people get lost in it. So we just use Mojo. Yeah. And I'm sure that they'll work on that. You know what I mean? But they were focused. Their efforts were focused on this, and I think that once they get this, now that it's launched, I'm sure that they'll focus on making a simpler version of Batch Dialer. But connectivity was rough.
I think they're going to do a lot of great stuff, man. I mean, they're really fine-tuning. They're putting the effort on like all the different platforms and features that they have. So I can't wait for everything to be like really, really solid and consolidated into this one thing. Awesome.
Guys, listen, if you've closed a deal, if you've driven for dollars, if you have called your first lead, if you have locked up a property, whatever, put it in the comments. We want to celebrate you. All of these small wins equal the big wins. And I'm tired of not ringing this bell, all right? We're 26 minutes in. You know what I'm saying? Usually we're lined up with all these. And I know that I was going and we were being real tactical in the beginning here. But make sure that you put in your success. We want to celebrate you. D-Hog. Hi, Brent. When calling through Batch, does your personal number show as the number through Batch? You can get numbers through Batch. Yeah, you never want to put your personal number. You want to either buy... We get our numbers from CallRail. And it's pretty pricey because we buy a lot, but we switch it up every 150 to 200 calls. We switch up the caller ID. Yeah. Steven.
Boom, there we go.
Hey, first bell ring. Brent, got my first deal under contract. I think we have a possible cash buyer. Thank you for all the gems. If it wasn't for Wholesale Hotline, I would have lost my motivation months ago. Congratulations. Working on this one since May. Follow-up is the key. That's right, Steven. Congratulations.
1000% follow-up is key.
That is.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm telling you. That's fantastic. And listen, you're right on pace, right? So you've got June, July, August. I mean, a little bit over. Typically, on average, from the first time that we talk to somebody to the time that we get paid on it is about 92 days. 92 days, guys, right? So just remember that that 90-day push is where you really need to build up that thermometer, right? I really like the analogy of a thermometer of like, you need to get that thing to 100 degrees, right? If you're sitting at 75 degrees, you need to be around people that are at 85, 90, 95 degrees. You need to find people that have that identity inside them, that they know that they are going to be successful, that they know that they're going to be powerful entrepreneurs, that they know that they're going to own a lot of real estate and be very wealthy. You need to build up that thermometer every single day, be around the people that are in there, because your identity is everything. What you believe in yourself, it doesn't matter how much tools or training or resources or support that you have internally in your beautiful brain. If that thermometer is not turned all the way up and that confidence goes all the way up, then it's just, it's not going to happen. It's going to be, you're going to go up and then you might pop up for a little bit with some inspiration and then you come right back down to that baseline. So push that baseline all the way up. All right. And that comes from faith. That comes from faith that you can do this. It comes from the intentions. And I'm listening to this great book by Ed Milet, One More. It's fantastic. You guys should all get it. It's phenomenal. Get the audiobook right now. Well, after the show. Don't get distracted. But it's really good. He talks about faith. He talks about intention. And he talks about associations are the things that increase your identity. And I think that that's really, really, really strong. Abdul, here we go. Bell ring number 2, close. First deal on 8/31. Congratulations. We celebrate you. Nice. That is incredible. Congratulations. Man, I wish I could grow a beard. He's got a really nice beard. Teresa, here we go. Hey, Brent, currently going after agent outreach in Cleveland. Beautiful. Do you mind explaining the assignment agreement process? Where would my fee play in since the agent is repping me and the seller? Great. The assignment, is that where you brought that? I'm going to draw it up for you here, Teresa. Matt, you can get rid of it. Oh, we'll pull this off for a second. All right. So let me show you what this looks like, Teresa. This is great. All right. So
Matt's on point.
You've got your seller. Okay. You've got your seller and you've got your cash buyer, right? And then here's you. You're powerful. You got your beautiful hair. Look at that. You're powerful. You got strong arms. There we go. You're powerful. And so you've got a purchase contract right here, right? This is where you've got your purchase contract. Okay, your purchase contract, and then you have an agent involved with this. Okay, but between you and the cash buyer, this is where you're going to have the assignment. Okay, so this is just between you and the cash buyer. Now, when you assign that, sorry, I'm kind of writing crazy so I could keep my mouth in front of the microphone here. But Teresa, you are going to communicate with your cash buyer and get that assigned. This assignment means that they take over this purchase contract. And so technically the agent will be representing this new cash buyer in this transaction if it's representing you both. Okay? There you go. Sorry, I'll try to be better at drawing you next time, Teresa.
I thought it was stellar.
Thank you.
Yes.
You're just messing with me.
I mean, you are full
You're
of
just
talents
gassing me up.
on Wednesdays.
Taj, if a property has ADU potential, would you comp at a higher percentage rate and be able to wholesale additional dwelling unit is what ADU means. It's basically like a guest house, guys, or like a mother-in-law house or something like that. Wholesale close to ARV and give the seller more money, or just comp normally with the percentage of the shifting market. Taj, I assume you're probably in California, or you're in a major city that has tighter lots. And so if you can put an additional unit on that, it makes that piece of land more valuable. So you can push the value on it, but I will caution you this. Negotiate like you can't. Find out how much they want for the property first. You know what I mean? So find out how much they want. Now, if they want ARV for the property, you just have to do the numbers. What is it going to cost to build? Well, if you're in California, it's probably what, $200 a square foot, $250, maybe $300 a square foot right now.
It's up there.
Here in Phoenix, it's like $150 to $175. It used to be $100 a square foot back in the day, right? But costs have gone up, inflation's gone up, labor's gone up, everything has gone up, people are backed up, it takes a long time. So there's a couple different things there, Taj. If you're looking to sell it for that, you got to make sure that you have a long established buyer that's going to buy it with really deep pockets. Because to put one of those on is a year to a 2-year process to get it approved, to get it designed, approved, built, and functioning as a additional dwelling unit. So you have to own that property for a long time. It's probably not one of those buyers that's going to buy with like a private money that's in that that's a 2-digit interest rate, right? 10% or higher. You're probably not going to sell it to them. Well, you're going to sell it to somebody that has deep pockets.
Yeah, and especially with inventory rising, I mean, all over the place, right? So that's going to be another additional challenge to that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Motivera, with investors using hard money lenders, would they still show up in cash buyers to find? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the way that they filter it and like in batch leads is whether it's like a conventional loan or not. So whenever anything gets recorded, when you record the deed of trust or whatever is the deed in your state, typically they'll show what kind of financing was used. Was it cash? Was it private money, or was it conventional? And so they're just checking conventional, FHA, or VA, or the three on that side. And then on this side are the private money, hard money, and cash. So you can kind of split those up. But yeah, it'll show up as cash. Kevin Lindsay, been calling for my first week, 2 hours a day. Been doing absentee, vacant liens, and pre-foreclosure. If starting today, you would go after single family, multifamily, and single mobile homes. First of all, Kevin, you've been calling for the first time, so that's a celebration. Come on! Absolutely incredible. All right. I would go after all of them. Yeah. As long as the mobile homes, just remember with mobile homes, they have to own the land. If they don't own the land, then it's basically an automobile, treated like an automobile.
Look for a certificate of a fixture when you're dealing with mobile homes.
Certificate of a fixture, yeah. And most of the time you'll know. I mean, if they're in mobile home parks, typically, if they're in an actual park, then the park actually owns the land. They just lease the land from them, and that's not who you want to go after. You want to go after, mobile homes that have their own land. But yeah, I love it all. I love pre-foreclosure. Oh, which one would I go after? I would go after drive for dollars for sure. I would virtually drive for dollars and call those all day long. And I would pull the vacant properties. I would pull tired landlords and tired multifamily. Yeah, so tired means, I'll write the criteria here basically. They've been owned, let me twist this thing, owned 7 years minimum. Okay, they were built. Jeremy has it, my disposition manager, 1995. I like starting out at 1990 and less, and older, I should say, older. I want to make sure that they're in where cash buyers are buying. So I just look at, Batch Leads does a great job. You can pull up, like if you look in an area and then you do cash buyers that have bought in the last 3 months and it has 0, probably not there. But you want an area that is really hot. So you want to go into the areas that are hot for those. I would start out with single family. And I would do them off market, not listed on the MLS. And you could do all of that, You could do all of that right there in Batch Leads. So then you just pull that list. And then, the last one is absentee. Absentee. You want to go after the properties and that is the mailing address and the property address are different. So do absentee, off-market, single-family, in a cash buyer area that's hot, built before 1990, and they've owned it 7 years. And then the other thing I would do, just to give you an extra little bonus, is the square footage. I would do a 2,000 maximum. That's what I would do. Boom. Because it's going to open up, if you're just getting started, it's going to open up the pool of buyers to you. And typically people there's a lot more buyers if the budget is less to purchase it for their down payment if they're using hard money, or just less cash in general, and then less for the rehab costs if it's under 2,000 square foot, typically, right? If you've got a property that's 4,700 square feet, I have a student that called me and he has a deal that's like 7,300 square feet and smoke and deal. But this firefighter, the chief firefighter guy, built this house himself, and the rest of the neighborhood's 1,700 square feet. Ooh. So he's got a 7,700 square foot. It's all, it's approved. Yeah. But it's not great.
It's an overbuilt, yeah.
Totally overbuilt. Totally. In an area where, and he's got so much money sunk into it that the price made sense from a price per square foot standpoint, but from a neighborhood and market standpoint, it was way off.
Non-conforming build.
That's right.
We call it, yeah.
That's right.
I like the fact that Kevin is time blocking. He says 2 hours, very specific. That's a win in itself, man. It's huge. Just be adamant about structuring your day like that and keeping that consistency going. Good work, man.
Yeah. Thank you all for joining us today. This is exciting. If this is getting you closer to your goals, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit that like button. When you hit that like button, it exposes us to the matrix, and the matrix brings in more real estate investors. Now we can network. Now we can get great questions. Now we can have good conversations. Now we can squad up and find people that are in our market that are like us. Remember that whole thing about that identity and building up to the 100 degrees. Part of that is associations. Be around people that are 90 degrees and plus, people that are really doing amazing things, people that really have that personal identity that they know that they are a winner, right? Winning feels great. It feels so good. Hey, Korea, I think. I'm new to wholesaling, and I'm really love it. I'm currently working in the Atlanta, Georgia market and advice. Would love to squad up with other wholesalers. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, squad up. Atlanta is a fantastic market. You've got the perfect blend of a huge market, older properties, and a ton of cash buyers. So what I would say is this: no matter what, and this is for everybody, not just Carriot. Where can I find other wholesalers besides YouTube? There's a ton. Facebook groups, right? Facebook groups. There's a meetup. I would reach out to Brandon Barnes. Is there a way, hey, Hunter, is there a way that you could take a picture of his Instagram? We can put it up here. I'll try to get Brandon Barnes. He's phenomenal. He's like the king of Atlanta. And he used to run a meetup group. He's got a great podcast, but I would reach out to him and just see if there's some good meetup groups or some good groups that he would suggest, and then just go meet up there. I would Google Atlanta REIA, REIA, Real Estate Investor Associations, and I would go to those meetup groups. I would talk to the title companies, and I would say, who is just awesome, and they have great energy that I should be connected with. I'm just getting started, but I am going after this. I am obsessed with this. I'm going to be the best real estate investor in Atlanta, and I need your help making the connections. That's what I would do.
When you're talking to the title companies, also talk to the marketing reps. That's their job.
That's it.
Their job is to network. They're going to know a ton of people.
You're right.
They're going to know a ton of people that are really connected. They're active in the industry and that sort of thing. So when you talk to title companies, you want to build that relationship with the escrow officers, but don't leave the marketing reps on the margins, because they're going to be your biggest asset when it comes to
5 contacts. There he is. Wow, that's fast. There he is. Brandon Barnes, 11,000 followers. He is fantastic. He's in Atlanta. If you're in Atlanta, reach out to him, DM him, say that Brent Daniels, TTP, sent you. And if he does not respond, you come back on the show, and I'll call him live and let him know he needs to communicate. But he should. He's fantastic. All right, and he does a great podcast as well. But 5 minimum contacts. Carrier. 5. Sorry if I'm butchering that. I apologize. 5 minimum owner contacts every single day. Every day. It'll take you between 5 and 30 minutes if you just call. I don't care if it's a real estate agent. I don't care if you go on Zillow and call for sale by owners. I don't care if you do the virtual drive. It's right there, virtual drive for dollars. Boom, you get it. You link in, you call them right there from your computer. You could be sitting at a coffee shop and getting a $15,000 deal as you're sipping your what are they? Pumpkin spice? PSLs, right?
Yeah.
Pumpkin spice lattes.
It's the season.
It's coming.
It's the season.
It's coming.
You know it.
Everybody loves them. I don't, but I've never had one. Maybe I will. I don't know. Maybe this will be the year that I break down and become real basic.
Do they do it with whiskey?
I'm just kidding. If you love that, I love you. You can always pour whiskey in it. Richard, started getting leads out of town. Once you get a seller to agree to a price, how do you get them to sign ASAP, being 8 hours away and never seeing the property? Seller had my offer for days now. Yeah, Richard, that's tough. I assume you emailed it. So two strong strategies. As a professional courtesy to you, Mr. or Mrs. Seller, I would like to set up a Zoom call with you and go over the contract so that you can sign it right there and I can answer any questions. It just helps so that, if you have a question, I can answer it right away so that it makes sense, right? So as a professional courtesy, we could do a Zoom call. Second, get a mobile notary. I'm going to send my guy over. He's going to bring over the contract. It's a mobile notary. They're going to come over and get everything signed. What time should that be? They're going to explain everything and then sign it. And you can get a mobile notary from anywhere, Richard. Get a mobile notary from, just Google it, and you'll find some great ones. But I really like the personal touch of a Zoom call while you're getting them to sign. People think I'm crazy, but I think that if you set it up as like a white glove treatment, a professional courtesy, people do it. I mean, I know they do it. They do it for us, so they do it for you. But that's the worst, Richard. Oh, man, when it falls into that black hole, they're not responding, and you're just like, what is happening? You can feel it. You can taste it. You can see it. You're like, oh, this is a deal. This is going to be phenomenal. And then all of a sudden, they're gone. Right?
I start ghosting people.
You do a lot.
It's October. Maybe that's
you do a lot
why
over DocuSign though. I mean, they lock them up.
Yeah. I mean, usually what we have, like another thing to do, if it's right there and then, while you're with them on the phone, you tell them, listen, I'm going to email you a document right now. Can we open it right now on your computer? And then you start just going through that contract. I mean, at the end of the day, they're going to have questions on the lingo. They're going to have questions on you or the process, right? So you can kind of, pinpoint it as those things are coming up.
Yep.
Worst case scenario, right? Do a FaceTime call.
Yep.
Yeah.
Love it.
But I think it's 1,000% about being personal with them.
Kismet, DBIA Kismet, just started calling about 2 weeks ago. That's a victory, Bill. Hold on. I thought I had a deal, but the realtor informed me on how it wasn't a flip deal. Fine. I don't know what that means. I think any deals can be a flip deal. So I'd like to dig into that and find out why it's not a flip deal. He now says he will send all flips to me first. Listen, if it's an ugly house, I mean, people flip beautiful houses. I went to an open house over the weekend, Raphael. It was $4.75 million, right, in Arcadia proper. Beautiful property. And they had bought it, I don't know, like 6 months ago, right, for like 3.5 or something. Had a designer go in, fix it, do the designer touches, and then they're like, "Oh, we're just going to build our own, mansion in Paradise Valley," and it went away. So they were going to sell that property. So I mean, anything can be a flip. It doesn't matter. Here we go. There's that confetti.
Yeah.
I love it. Congratulations. Keep calling. Keep calling, keep calling, keep calling. Danny, look at this professional guy. This guy is sharp. Oh, goodness. So if I have batch, can you get rid of PropStream and Deal Machine? Technically, yeah. I mean, 3.0. So they're gobbling up that. Yeah. They just are. Randy, here we go. At Raphael, what blasting platform are you using?
Randy, we're using Launch Control for texting, for SMS.
How's it going?
It's actually going pretty well. I mean, we get, I think, the delivery rate is pretty high. Our response rate is around 28%. Delivery is about 95, 96%. Again, you got to have good data, otherwise nothing works, right? Yeah, but it's working. It's working pretty well. So we skip trace through batch and then upload to Launch Control and then go to town on that. But we're getting a lot of stuff.
That's awesome.
I mean, a good third of our leads on a weekly basis, if not more, come from SMS texting.
Yeah, same for us. It's been interesting. So last week we started doing live calls on our support calls in the group, and so I have Chad's my junior acquisition manager. He's been on here, and then the leads go to Ryan. Ryan's been on here a lot. I'll get Ryan on in the next month, and because he's phenomenal. I mean, he's a deal closer. Anyway, these leads from text blasting, holy cow, you got to go through a lot. You got to kiss a lot of frogs because people will tell you they want to sell, but they don't really need to sell. And in our market, in Phoenix specifically, if they don't need to sell, they're just not going to come down to the price that's going to cause it to sell. And in most major markets, it's the same. But holy cow, it is, they're just, you really have to qualify.
Yeah, you got to work them.
Pristina, newbie here. I've been calling, emailing, and sending texts for 2 weeks with no luck. Do you recommend a certain method over another? I mean, I would start out with having as many professional conversations as possible about real estate, and so that would be calling. Texting is a great way. You can those can be hand in hand, and emailing. I don't know too many people that are real successful with emailing campaigns. I know Dimitri Van Camp. emails, but it goes to their text message, which I don't know how he does it. He's a genius, but that's an interesting strategy. I don't know many people that have really pull off successful emailing. So if it's you, Pristina, let's have you on here. Tell us how to do it. But you need to call and text. I mean, either way, you need to have quality conversations with distressed property owners every single day. Every single day. And remember, it's 200 conversations to close one deal. 99.5% of the conversations that you have are going to go nowhere. It's not going to lead to income, but that 0.5% will make you a fortune. That 0.5% will make you a fortune. So that's amazing. Keep pushing. Keep going. You're going to find opportunities. 1 in 200. And remember, it typically takes 90 days. Right?
Yeah, Pristina, take a look at your quality of the data, and then
that too.
Your volume.
Yep.
How many calls, how many dials are you actually performing on a regular basis? Because that's gonna, like Brent's saying, right? You need 200 conversations, to actually get something done. So that, and then the quality of the data. 2 weeks of activities sounds like a lot to not have any leads or luck at all. So
it could be the quality.
Yeah,
it could be the quality of the data for sure. Thanks for bringing that up. I just talked to some of the people that white label Skip Trace, just out of curiosity. They call me all the time because they want me to white label something or have my own TTP skip tracing or whatever else. And you look at the pricing and you look at where they're getting the data, and then you look at everything else. And I know where Batch gets. They have like 17 different resources, but 4 main ones to verify. They've got all the technology. It's all built into their system, proprietary. And there's a reason that you pay 14 to 12 to 10 cents an address on that, because the costs are real. If you get that cheap skip trace that people are going out at 1, 2, 3, 5 cents an address, it's gonna take you way longer, and people are going to blow past you because they spent an extra $20 on their skip tracing.
Can I talk about match rates and hit rates real quick?
Yep.
So I did that a while back. I had a white label. It was Pulse Data Hub, so I ran that for a while because I wanted to test it out, and I needed data, right?
Right.
This is pre-batch, and I found out that they have hit rates and then they have match rates. Mm-hmm. So if you drop a list of 100, I don't know, say that you want to skip trace 100 people, right? Your hit rate might come back as 98. So you have 98 phone numbers on there, but your match rate can be like 30.
Yeah.
So you're talking to 30%, accuracy, of the properties that you're working on there. Well, and it's just like, that's what most companies out there, most white labels out there have.
Let me show you a quick way to make a bunch of money. Let me show you how to do this, okay? It's called, you go, okay, I'm going to build up an audience showing everybody that I make a bunch of money, okay? And then I'm going to come out with a skip tracing company that's garbage data, and I'm going to tell you all to go hire a bunch of VAs in the Philippines or in India or in South America or in Central America, or somebody that you pay $2 or $3, right? So for a couple $100 a month, you've got your skip tracing and you've got these people making calls for you, right? And I get a slice of that because I get an affiliate or I get a white label or whatever else, and it's cool, right? And I get a bunch of people to do that. And then everybody goes, well, I'm not getting any deals because I'm not actually getting any leads.
Yeah.
This is an epidemic. I mean, it's real. And I don't want to feel like I'm shitting on anybody. Like, I'm just telling you, I've been doing this a long time, and I would never tell you something that doesn't work and something that I don't use in my business currently, like for real. Yeah. And so when Raphael says, get really good data. All right? Do I have a relationship with Batch? 100%. Do I get affiliates with Batch? 100%. Absolutely. But only because I use that. That's it.
It's quality.
I mean, I'm just, you could call me a shill. You could call me a whatever, a pitch man or whatever. I'll pitch anything that works for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, why do you think I stopped the white label?
Yeah, well, I know. It
was generating revenue, but it's not.
Those people aren't in business for a long time
I mean?
Because it doesn't work, and then people can't afford it anymore, and then they go do drop shipping.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just letting you know. Randy. Real estate coach. Here we go. Closing my first 50 plus home with out the land on voicemail back. 10K, baby. Minus $60 for the transfer fees. Okay. So he's getting a 55 home plus mobile, I guess it looks like, right? That he sold and made $10,000.
Yeah.
There you go. Look at that.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow.
That's incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Nice. Good stuff, Randy.
Yeah, it was 76K. We got this one already, Alejandra. We rang it for him, but he didn't put the 76K. That's absolutely incredible. Abdul, again, congratulations. My list. How can I give my drivers access to the app while they are driving, but not give them bright ideas themselves? You should encourage bright ideas. Because here's the thing, people that have people that recognize opportunity have a different brain, and they're always going to recognize opportunity. But the fact is, 99% of people don't recognize opportunity.
Yeah.
It's just the truth. Maybe 95%. So I wouldn't worry about it. I really would not worry about that. I would say, I would encourage them. Do they know how to find the cash buyers? Do they have the paperwork? Have they done the research? Have they made the calls on those? Have they gone on appointments on those? Do they have time for the lead follow-up? Do they know how to, pre-qualify all those people? Do they know which title companies to use? All of these things that I would share it with all of them. I have shared it with all of them. It has not affected my business. It has in a positive way. It's increased my business.
We're sharing it right now.
Yeah. Yeah, we're doing it right now. So, great. Guys, if you're out there driving, and this is the conversation, and you find ugly properties, and I go and I make money from it, I want to split it with you. That's all you got to do. You just got to send me ugly properties. And people will make a game out of it. And if you give them money after that, it's bananas. They love it. They absolutely love it. They'll do it for you, do it with you forever.
One thing to understand, too, as an entrepreneur, if you're building a business, not everybody wants that headache.
No.
Not everybody wants that headache. People think they do, but not everybody does.
No.
Some people just want to belong to, something that they can rely on. That might be you.
Lamore, is the automated dialer in batch leads upgraded? So this isn't their dialer, guys. They still have batch dialer. That click to dial is just one dial at a time. It's not gonna just start calling all the leads in a row. You have to physically just call them one by one, which is great. Put the Bluetooth in and you're rocking and rolling. I don't have mine. Mine's on my desk. But yeah, you're rocking and rolling, but it's not the dialer. The dialer is something different. This is click to dial. This is, that's an ugly house. I'm going to call them. Oh, that's an ugly house. I'm going to call them. And people will do that with their well-trained phone prospectors / VAs, whatever you want to call them. Well-trained, loved on, making solid income, have skills. And this is for only people that have talked to 1,000 people themselves first, is the rule. Then you can have your VA do that stuff. You won't listen. You'll hire somebody to make the calls. I won't say that. That's negative. You will listen. You're going to make all the calls. You're going to talk to 1,000 people, and then you're going to be able to find the best talent for your team. All right? Here we go. Got 2 deals under contract, De Niro. Hopefully I can sell them to private buyers to maximize my profit. Here we go.
De Niro's on fire, man. I like how he keeps coming back to our lives. It's funny how it correlates, right? The people who come back and then get advice are the people actually knocking out deals.
That's right. So. De Niro, I love it. I could break down a double closing, no problem. Don't hope for cash buyers. Go find them. Be as aggressive to sell the deal as you did to find the deal. That's the market we're in. So literally use batch leads just like I showed you. Do a perimeter search. Do the filter. Go cash buyers last 90 days. If you can go last 90 days. And then call them all up. Skip trace them. Just start calling them and texting them. I saw that you bought this a property. I saw that you bought a investment property over here. I've got another one in the area that's off market. I'd love to send you the details. Please let me know if you'd like me to send you the information packet, whatever. There you go. All right, double closing. You ready? Okay. You've got a property. Okay, this is your seller. Again, you've got your buyer. Okay, and then there's you, powerful. Let's see if I can do this better. I'm kind of around my, oh geez, this is terrifying. All right, there you go, you're strong. Okay, there's you. You're pumped. Just smile, there we go. And so with the seller, you've got the purchase agreement right here. Purchase contract. And instead of, usually what you do here is an assignment to this buyer. This is actually, you cross that out, this is actually going to be another purchase contract where you are the seller on the contract and they are the buyer on the contract. Let me move that up a little bit. There you go. And what happens is if it's a double close, you have to bring the funds to close this deal, and then the buyer will close this deal right here in the same day. If it's a double escrow, this buyer's money actually flows through and pays for your purchase contract. Now, a lot of states won't do this, the double escrow, or a lot of title companies won't, but it's the way that you can not have to raise the funds yourself. But in each, real quick, Matt, in each one, you're going to be paying the closing costs on this deal. And then the buyer will pay it on this deal, closing costs, buyer. So you can expect about let's just say, expect about $3,000 minimum less on that deal that you'll make if you double escrow, double close. And it's that time. It's the top of the hour, Matt. You know what time it is. It's time. Which one would you rather? Which property would you rather own? Here we go. We first have this beauty. Oh, look at that, Raph.
Ooh, that's got your name written all over
It's a big house. It's a traditional kind of farm style, kind of modern vintage style. It's got beautiful dormers. Look at that. Or
gorgeous.
Do you go a little bit more modern?
Ooh.
Modern farmhouse. What do you do? What do you do? Do you choose number one? Let's see it again, Matt. Right. Number one. Oh, look at this beauty. Okay. Or do you go number two? Put it in the comments section. We're going to see. We're going to go. Don't influence them, Raph. You always influence them, and everybody always picks the one that you like.
Maybe that's why I keep winning.
That's right. So we'll give you guys about 10 minutes to put in your votes on that, or 5 seconds or whatever, because you won't know if you're just jumping on right now what the hell we're talking about. But there you go. Dave with his sub 2 hat, looking good. Hi, Brent. Just closed on another ugly house in Longview, Washington last week with a $20,000 assignment. We started talking to the seller last November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. 11 months, guys. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Congratulations. You stuck with it. It was worth it. You probably called him, let's say 15 times.
It had to be.
So you probably talked to him 15 times, right?
Yeah.
So let's say you talk to him 20 times, right? Well, that's a lot of times. It's worth $1,000 every time Dave talks to him. Every time Dave talks to a distressed property owner, he makes $1,000. Congratulations, Dave. You're the man.
Good stuff.
That is awesome. 20,000. How do you comp multifamily? Well, it just depends, Jimmy. It depends on how big of multifamily you're looking for, right? If you're like 4-plex and under, I usually run comps. You can do it from a cash flow standpoint, right? Or an earnings standpoint, but it's not really considered commercial until you get bigger than that. And then once you get bigger than that, it's all cap rate. It's all how much money does this thing make? Yeah. You want to add to this? Because you're your way more into it?
No, I mean, I agree. You have to run it off of cap rates and revenues. So you would look at the profit and losses of whatever it's bringing in, and then depending on where you're at, people are going to look for a certain number of profit as, as a guide, right, for taking on that multifamily. What you have a lot too is underperforming properties. That's one of the things that makes it a wholesale deal. So if it's something that could, where you could raise the rents and that sort of thing, you can be more aggressive on the price points depending on the cap rates. And it wouldn't just be the rehab; it'd be the rehab and then raising the rents to raise that cap rate and then bump up that price on that dispo price. So it gets a little bit more complicated on that on the cap rate side, but yeah, it's a value add move always.
Yeah, and if you want to make it super easy, Jimmy, find the best buyers for multifamily and say, in this area, what do you want to spend?
Yeah.
And typically they'll tell you like a per door number. Well, I'm usually about $25,000 per door. I'm $250,000 per door. I'm, something like that. And that'll give you a really good kind of top line view. And then you can start working your negotiations based off of that. But I would always have a buyer for that because there's not going to be a tremendous amount of them. And compared to single family, just because of the price point and because of, people that buy those are looking for those. Well, I think people that buy anything are looking for them. That's a silly statement. But they're like into it more. You know what I mean? They have more experience.
One thing that's happening in that space, and also like in just general, like the small, they call it the boring business space.
Yeah.
But it's there's a lot of baby boomers that just want to retire. They don't want to be landlords anymore. They don't want to, own a business. They don't want to own multifamily. They just want to cash out and sit and chill. So a lot of that opportunities opening up in bigger markets. It's one of the trends. I was looking at that last week. So yeah.
I love it though. Massive imperfect action. Progress, not perfection. That's the name of the live show. Progress, not perfection. We need to make progress every single day, even if it's just one thing, even if it's just comping a property. I hope it's talking to somebody. I truly believe. I mean, I just know that this business comes down to talking to people, and if you just focus on that every single day, you can't lose. I'm just throwing that in there because I just, there's no mystery to this business. You just have to talk to enough people. Jeffrey, I love the new MAO video posted. Good. Going to reach out to at least 30 to 50 sellers today, and no matter what, determined to get a bell ring. You got it. I love it, Jeffrey. Just pick up the phone. I mean, Batch Leads has it easy for click to dial. I mean, that makes it super, super, super easy. But you can literally just start calling everybody. If you want to warm up, just start calling all the for sale by owners on all the different websites. You could just Google for sale by owner in your area. They have a ton of them on Zillow, but there's for sale by owner sites that you can just call people on. And it's phenomenal. And you can just ask them, just call them up and just ask them, is this property still available? Are you negotiating with any current offers? If you don't get the price that you have it listed for, what are you going to do with the property? And if I can get you that price, would you be open to working with me and being the bank and working with terms? Like that's the game plan for that. Maybe I should just do a YouTube video on it. I kind of did on the live ones, but maybe I'll just do a more instructional one.
Break it down.
I'll do that
in detail.
Layla. Hey, Brent, working on potential MLS deal. Agent is saying the seller will not accept assignable contracts with release of liability. What does that mean, and can I work around this? Yes, you can if you can do a double close or double escrow. But what's happening here is they have had this property under contract several times. People have backed out on them several times, or maybe just once, but they've been backed out on, or this agent has another listing that this has happened to. What happens is, in a lot of these, using Privy, which is a phenomenal service if you're going to be doing on-market deals, or some of these other ones, they have like, the property's been on the market for a certain amount of time, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, whatever the trigger is on that. And then it automatically will put together a purchase contract and send it out to the agent, and they get a lot of sight unseen offers, and they put in the verbiage, have the right to assign it. But none of them are putting them in at the right prices. If it's on the market, you need to be like at 50 or 30% of what they have it listed for if it's an ugly house. Just telling you. So I would ask the agent why, and they'll tell you. And then they just want to work with real buyers because they're getting burned. They're just getting burned. There's too many canceled contracts, so they're getting burned, and then they just like get exhausted with it.
Well, I mean that, and then there's also a lot of work that goes behind each contract that every realtor puts together or offer they present even. So yeah, they're mitigating that.
Yep. They want to know who the real buyer is.
Yeah.
So you have a couple options. One, partner with a real cash buyer on it and just say, hey, listen, I'll get this thing locked up, but you got to close it. What price works? Get a buy price out of them. Say, if I get you at that price, let's partner on this thing, and I get paid $10,000, and you get to take the property and do whatever else. And that'll work. You work like a joint venture with them. Yeah. Because you can't represent them. That would be agency, and that's illegal. So make sure that you walk that fine line with your cash buyers. You want to partner and joint venture with them. Naomi, hi Brent. How do I give the seller the confidence to sign the contract after we agreed on a price but still want to sleep on it? Talk to their son, wife. Thank you. Sending love from Israel. All right. That is awesome. Great to have you on here. And everybody from Israel. I'm telling you, man, they have a powerful real estate investing group in Israel. If you're just watching this and you're not connected with it, connect with Naomi here, and she'll get you all connected. Or Daniel Nissim. Daniel Nissim is phenomenal out there. He's doing really, really, really great things, and he's like a supermodel. So if you don't know him, go reach out to him. Nissim. Okay, so a couple different things. One is you didn't get enough advanced agreements. Okay, it's all in the setup before the presentation. This is all part of our presentation. So there's really, let me show you three parts to oh shoot, Matt, what do I have to do? I click the off button again. I'll show you all the parts of the conversion. Turn it back on. Broadcast. Okay. Are we good? Beautiful. All right. Here we go. So 3 parts of conversion. Number 1, okay, is pre-qualifying. Right? Pre-qualifying. Do you know the condition of the property? Do you know their timeline to sell? Do you know their motivation to sell? And do you know what price they want? Okay? That's pre-qualifying. Every single conversation, I'll move this up. Every single conversation comes down to that, guys. If you're just getting started, this is the building blocks of making an absolute unbelievable business. Is make sure that you're pre-qualifying. Okay? Condition, timeline, motivation, price. All right? Number 2 is lead follow-up. Okay? This is, let me see if I can do this. Shh, that is terrible. But just do it. That's the key. That's my Nike swoosh, by the way. Lead follow-up. Just do it. Well, stop messing around. Don't worry about a broken heart. Like, don't worry. Oh, they told me that they don't want to sell anymore, and now I'm never calling a seller again. Right? That's how I felt. Anyway, lead follow-up, right? And 3rd is the offer presentation. Before you get to this offer presentation, part of the offer presentation is something called advanced agreements. Is there anything stopping you from moving forward when I give you this offer? If what I say makes sense and you feel comfortable and confident with the offer that I'm giving you and working with me, is there anything stopping you from signing the agreement when I send it over right now? Well, I need to talk to this. I need to talk to that. I need to do this. I need to do that. Okay, great. How can I help? Can I jump on those conversations so that everybody's on the same page? What needs to happen? What needs to happen for you to make a decision? right? These questions are open-ended and they're phenomenal, but they're advanced agreements. They're part of your presentation. They're trying to find out the objections before you get them. And then you go, okay, and if your son doesn't like the offer, what's going to happen? What was the other one? Can you put her up again? Naomi? There was a son. There was, I want to think about it, right? I want to think about it. Okay, great. You've got the price. You got your price. You got your terms. Do you want to work with me? Well, I'm not sure. Okay, what can I answer so that you can be confident that we can move forward? Well, I just like to pray about it. I just want to think about it. That's great. Let's pray about it together right now. Or some people just will stiff arm you because they just don't want to feel like they're pressured and rushed. So don't use your tone as your body language. Okay, completely understand. What's going to happen between now and then? How do I follow up? How do I make sure that I'm in the right position to move forward with this? Because there's a lot of moving pieces to selling a property, and I want to make sure that this is as convenient for you as possible. So I need to get all my ducks in a row and get everything going. So do you think I can get a decision by the end of the day? Is that enough time to think and pray about it? When should I expect it? What about this? What about you sign the document now? And I'll put it in writing right here on the document. And you have a 24-hour rescission period. That if you want to cancel for whatever reason, you thought about it, you prayed about it, you talked to your son, you did whatever, you took counsel, you don't want to do this deal, I will tear it up. Just 24 hours, is 24 hours fair enough? So sign it now. We'll put a 24-hour right of refusal, right to rescind, whatever you want to put in there. We'll get it done. And we'll tear it up. No obligation. But I want to make sure that I'm doing the best to move forward and get you out of the situation. Because you told me that people were breaking into this house. Somebody already started a fire in there. The market's going down. And I want you to make sure that you can get the most out of this property. But I can't do that if we're not committed. I'm willing to commit to you. Are you willing to commit to me? Woo! What do you think?
Fire. I love that.
What do you think? No, Vince. Text messaging is not. Listen, on average in Phoenix, it takes 35,000 text messages to get a deal. Same in every major market. You could get lucky.
Understand that if you're text messaging at that level, you're going to need a lot more data.
A lot more data. It's going to cost you way more. Way more.
Yeah. Gets pricey.
So if you can get deals from text messaging and it's easy and it's simple and you don't have to spend a tremendous amount, awesome. Yeah. Fantastic. But real with real team behind it working them, it takes a lot of it takes a lot of texts. And the worst part is, Vince, it almost becomes quicksand in a way because you feel good with people responding, you feel like you're being productive, you feel like you're getting leads, and then you get them on the phone or they never get on the phone and they're like, "Yeah, well, if I get this price, then I'll sell." And it's some ridiculous price. Does it work? Yes. Last year we made $500,000. 2021, we made $500,000 from text messaging. Phenomenal. The return was bananas. I think I spent like $35,000 to $40,000 on that. Made $500,000. Over 10-to-1 return. Fantastic. This year we've made $30,000.
30,000. Yeah. Yeah, stuff changes. We did a review of the last 100 deals that we've closed just to see where the sources were coming from. Again, I mean, cold calling, no secret, right? Number one. Second is SMS.
Yeah.
And then we had JV stuff come in third.
Fran, one of my cold callers, has made us over $600,000 this year. Yeah. I mean, and if I were to call myself, if I were literally just staying in my office and just shut all this thing down and just make calls myself, man, I hope I could be as good as that. No, I would absolutely crush it. I mean, I would absolutely go bananas with it. It would be, I don't know, 700, 800,000 a year, without a doubt in my mind. Without a doubt in my mind. With our average deal size of over 30,000, no doubt about it. Chad, started wholesaling as a side hustle last October. Year to date, I've already done double my salary in assignment.
Boom.
Keep grinding, everybody. 1, congratulations. 2, thank you for giving other people inspiration. Thanks for pumping people up. That's what this is all about. Keep grinding, everybody. He's absolutely right. Thank you. Chad. 2 Cents Talk Show. I love it. I'm working a full-time sales job at a dealership with a newborn. Holy cow, bro. I hope you got a lot of coffee, a lot of Monster energy drinks, a lot of 5-hour energies. You are just doing both. That's one, that's long hours, and two, that's long hours, right?
Yeah.
How do I maximize my time if I only have 1 day off per week? You might consider that you be the funding partner and get somebody that has a little bit more time and has some fuel to them, has a big engine, and have them start building the momentum with the leads until you guys can split things 50-50 until you can get out of your job. And then I would separate the businesses. I would do your own business and have them do their own business. But with a newborn, and listen, you talk about seasons in life. Holy cow, you're in a busy one. I mean, you were in the tornado, brother. So
I remember those days, man.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I get it, and you come up for air, and you're just like, holy cow. So I would find a partner during that time, and I don't recommend partnerships for the long term. I recommend that if you're going to do it, you do it with the intention of, okay, we're going to review every year, and at a certain point, we're going to split. And that's the way to do it, so that you guys can both have the experience and the systems and build really strong businesses and not have to split it 50-50. Unless you're married, of course.
Yeah, leverage technology too. I mean, there's incredible stuff out there that you can tap into.
Oh, I would definitely call as much as possible while you're in that partnership. But I wouldn't you have a dream, you have a goal.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be on here if you didn't. So I would find somebody, I would squad up, let everybody know where you live. Maybe there's somebody that's starting out, or maybe you've done a couple deals and need some financial backing. Because if you're working full time at the dealership, you're making money. Just depends on how much that newborn is taking of that money. But I'm sure if you're doing sales and you're interested in this, you're doing pretty well. Especially with cars now, with convenience fees of like a third of the cost to buy a car or whatever.
I am telling you.
It's wild.
Yeah.
We have a winner. Okay, here we go. We got number 1, number 2. Here's number 1 again. Would you rather this beautiful estate? And number 2, before you announce it, we're going to say which one we like the best. I actually like this one the best.
Yeah, that's 100%.
This is no-brainer?
No-brainer.
No-brainer, this one? It's way smaller. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Like the other one's probably like 6,000 square feet. This is like 2,500.
Look at that.
You know what I mean?
Whole section with a home office. I mean, I don't know. I'm seeing myself.
You're seeing yourself chilling.
Oh, yes.
Love it.
Yeah.
What's the winner? Yeah. Was it a landslide? It was a landslide. Not even close. All right. I see what you guys are doing. I'll tell you what, this is something that I've really, really been thinking about. And this is just me just kind of standing and kind of like just opening up. I've been like, we do well, right? And I was like, maybe I want to live in a different area, or want a different, bigger house, or want something that's, you could shoot a lot of video in and stuff. And we could do that in our house. But like something that's like really, you drive up and it's a mansion. You know what I mean? And then I go, do you know how much attention mansions need? How much attention these properties need all the time, and how much you spend on them, and how much of a true liability. When Robert Kiyosaki says that your house that you own is a liability because a liability takes money out of your pocket, it's the absolute truth. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so it makes you think like, what kind of box do you actually have to live in? What kind of box, you know what I mean? Like if it's really cool and it's well done, you feel great there, and it's around family and it's around friends and it's around the things that you enjoy, the food and the entertainment and the events and all that. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, I want to go out and buy that $5-6 million house. I want to be in that neighborhood. Are people in that neighborhood cooler than I am? You know what I mean? Because I don't live in a neighborhood like that. I live around a bunch of priests. It's crazy. I live in this little pocket neighborhood that like half the houses are owned by the Catholic Church, which is pretty cool because they're quiet. Anyway.
No, at this point,
it's just me rambling.
I'm over big houses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. I see a lot of people selling their big houses right now. A lot of people we know. Sean, hey Brent, is your team mostly doing novations or dispo deals, or are you still rocking out with your cash buyers? Cash buyers. We're learning novations, but we haven't locked up anything that's been solid with it. We've been looking at it and training with it with Todd Toback, but that's a process that takes some time. And so we're about 30, 45 days in. We're looking through all our old leads and just trying to see if they really want to sell and if it fits. My team cash buyer list is getting super tight. And it's frustrating. Yeah, it is. Sean, you got it. I'm telling you, you have to make as much effort into selling your deals as you do buying your deals. For sure. I'm talking get on the phone and call every single cash buyer you have to sell your deals. Not only that, but you really have to reverse engineer your lists. Like I showed you the power rankings of the list. And by the way, somebody asked, do you have to put in the power rankings yourself? Yes, you do. You have to put in the power rankings yourself, which is, you get to adjust that, and there's a tutorial. They show you how to do that. This is old school. You have to go back. You have to build your cash buyer database. You have to go and talk to them, see what they're buying, and then reverse engineer and find them the properties that they want.
When it comes to frustration, this is for Sean. Just understand that we're in a wind tunnel right now.
Yep.
I mean, stuff is shifting, right? So it's a temporary thing. Things are gonna settle inevitably, and those who make it, to the other side of the of this wind tunnel are really gonna be thriving there.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
There's gonna be a lot of follow-up, I think, but.
Great question. Getting a hold of the probate. Sorry, it's not on here. It was there before, but I read it. Getting a hold of persistence is how you get a hold of the personal representative of the probate. Persistence. Calls, letters, texts. You can DM if you want. But yeah, persistence and a lot of empathy. They're going through a tough time. So a lot of empathy. John, door knocked an expired listing yesterday. They took my card and they told me they're looking to sell as is. Here we go, John. Congrats.
Gutsy, John.
That's
Gutsy.
phenomenal. Now, I hope you got their info. Doesn't matter if they have your card. You need to get their info. You need to get their card, so to speak. So make sure that you skip trace it. You can get it right there on batch in 2 seconds. And that's phenomenal.
Follow up.
Great job.
Follow up.
Lexus, I got my first deal in 9 days. Door knocking. Oh my gosh, that's how I got my first deal. Absolutely incredible. There you go. Smash that like button for Alexis. That is phenomenal. First deal. Now I hope it's sold. Get that deal sold. There's getting deals and then there's getting paid. So make sure you get that deal sold. Kiva, there we go. I know it. We were celebrating her yesterday. It was great. I went to my first appointment yesterday, got the contract signed, found this ugly house, driving for dollars in Oakland, using batch leads technique Brent spoke of to locate the cash buyers in the area. Yeah, it's phenomenal. She got a double lot. The house is pretty destroyed. Maybe needs to be knocked down, maybe salvaged, but for $260,000 in Oakland.
Oakland.
That's bananas. That is absolutely.
Yeah.
Here we go.
You've done stuff in Oakland, man. It's not finding stuff like that. It's a nugget.
It's a nugget.
It's a
yeah,
nugget.
she's just fearless. Kiva is fearless. She's Lyft driver. Yeah, so she's a Lyft driver, and then she just she just calls and drives for dollars as she's doing it. 3 more minutes, guys. Daniel, hi Brent. How do you deal with the do not call list? Do you offer to help them out rather than say, I want to buy your home, or do you ignore it? You ignore it. Just get rid of them, Daniel.
Yeah.
Yep. Don't even mess with it. There you go. Raphael. Brent, which market do you recommend? Your own backyard. And if your own backyard is super, super, super small, then I would just go to wherever you feel like you understand values and where the cash buyers are. So there's not a magical market. I wish there was. I'd be in it. but there's no magical market. Every market has their pros and cons. And so you want to go where there's cash buyers and their cash buyer activity. So you could find that really easy through batch leads. And then you get 1,000 addresses and during your 7-day trial with the TTP code with batch leads, guys. Oh, James, there he is. We've got one locked up and closing in 3 weeks, $25K wholesale retail buyer. Look at this guy.
Nice.
You look at this guy. Come on. Incredible. Congratulations, James. I hope this is my James H. But that's the way you do it. Closing this day, $25K. You know what I mean? That's phenomenal. Asaf, closed last week on a small manufactured property. MHP, 12K assignment, needs tons of work. First talked to seller in March. Property was in probate, so waited till the release to close. $12,000. Come on, Asaf. That's what I'm talking about, Hondra. That's what I'm talking about. 12 minimum. I love it. You guys are incredible. You guys are incredible out there. People doing
12
deals.
Bell rings too.
12 bell rings, yeah. Carolina. Hi, Brent. From all the platforms as a beginner, do you recommend batch leads? Yes. Over Deal Machine and PropStream? Yes. Yeah, they're pouring way more money in. They're just the skip tracing. I would use batch leads if you were using all of them anyway, because they don't have nearly the quality of skip tracing. So now that they have that, go with batch leads. It's incredible. And that's it. Come on out here, Matt, Alejandra. Come say goodbye to everybody. We love you guys. Thank you for joining us. We go at 10 a.m. Arizona time. That'll change in October or November whenever daylight savings changes. On behalf of Alejandra with the new white TTP crop top, Matt and Raphael, come on up, Raphael. We love you guys. Remember, keep your house clean, right? Literally your house in this house, right? Protect your health and increase your value to the world, and you'll live an incredible life. I love you. See you next week.